She's sweating.
I am.
So you got your beautiful LA view. And your peach gains. Here with Camilla. My eyes are probably gonna look like this though. We are taking you guys through an at-home glute routine. Everything you guys can do in the first 12 weeks of building your booty before you guys even touch a gym. So if you want your upper glutes that pop, here's your 7-day workout plan with my top 6 exercises that are the most effective for hitting the upper glutes, activating the upper glutes. This is how it's done. Just using your fabric booty band, ankle straps with 2 bands, and your hip thrust belt. Showing you guys how you can use these with just a set of dumbbells, and then getting that mind to muscle connection, getting upper glute contraction, isolating the glutes with just bands. We're gonna give you guys a solid pump today that you guys can add into your routine with Camilla. We got an at-home booty routine for you guys today. Typically do a minute 30 on the lateral walks to get some blood flow going, get the glutes warmed up, the hips warmed up, and then we'll do some step backs. So we'll do 2 sets of 15. Just stepping back, just getting the glutes warmed up. We're gonna take you guys through full at-home glute workout and producing a pump. So how you grow the booty at home. So like I've said before, I always recommend you guys start at home. So we're gonna start making a lot more at-home content for you guys, just using the bands. There's so much you guys can do with just the bands. High reps, high volume, longer time under tension, your ankle straps, your fabric booty band, you got the hip thrust belt now that you guys can attach dumbbells to, then you're just investing in dumbbells at home. So we're gonna show you guys what that looks like today and how to produce a pump, and how to start growing at home. We got a full glute isolation day today. 20-pound dumbbells. We're gonna put the hip thrust belt together. So we'll show you guys what that looks like. All right, so you got your peach gains hip thrust belt for at home. Hashtag booty is life. And you're gonna attach the dumbbells here. So we're gonna start with some hip thrust. We're gonna go 2 legs, and then we're gonna superset with some single legs so we get that mind to muscle connection. We're gonna do 15 on the single legs and 20 with the belt on the first set, because this is light for Camilla. Okay, you ready, Camilla? Okay. Yeah, so you guys don't want your back to be too high. And if you feel like you know, I've said this with the benches when they're high, I like to elevate the feet. We're actually gonna go 2 legs. Yeah, so we're gonna go 2 legs. And let's just do 20 on your first set. This is a little lighter for you. So she's gonna do 20 on the first set, but typically we'll go 3 sets of 15 with the weight and 2 legs. And then she's gonna superset with the single leg. So we're gonna go 15 more with the single leg, holding that time under tension. At home, that's the goal. You guys want longer time under tension when you're limited with weight. That's why we use those PFR bands as well. So lots of supersets with the fabric bands as well. Good. But notice how she's getting full hip extension, getting high enough to squeeze, contract the glutes. And if you needed more resistance and helping you feel more glute activation, you can easily add the fabric booty band with your weight. So now we'll take this off, and I want her to just pump out 15 on each leg, single leg. Yeah. But again, when you guys are working at home, it's gonna be a lot of supersets, a lot of time under tension, more volume, because you're limited with weight. So this is where you're going to get that higher resistance, that high glute activation. It's so quiet out here today. Have you worked out this week?
I worked out yesterday. There's shoulders and tries.
Oh, shoulders and tries. Yeah, she does. You do full body every week, huh? 5 days a week. Good. Those are good. But getting full hip extension, make sure you guys allow the glutes to contract. Give yourself a second squeeze at the top of all your reps, especially at home. Make your reps count. Okay. So we're gonna do 3 rounds of that. She's gonna do, again, we usually do 15 reps. Camilla's doing 20 just because this is lighter weight for her. But I would say start with 15s or 20-pound dumbbells at home and then start to invest in heavier dumbbells. But when you guys have this belt, you're really just investing in more dumbbells to progressive overload, increase your weights. And then you guys have the bands to help with adding more resistance. So now we're actually gonna add the band with the weight to just give her more resistance, give her more of a challenge. And when you guys add the band, you will feel a lot of lateral glute. I get a lot of, how do I hit my side booty? How do I grow my side booty? You can never cover your hip dips, but you can strengthen the lateral glute, the lateral of the gluteus max, by throwing this band around your legs on your glute bridges, your hip thrusts, even some of your lunges, your squats. I love to use this fabric booty band as much as I can for higher glute activation. Beautiful form. Notice how her heels are right under her knees. She's forming a 90-degree angle when she gets to the top. Hips, rib cage, and knees form a flat line at the top. And getting a nice squeeze and a good lockout. So good. And the whole point of having that band there is you're resisting it with your knees, right? So keep that band nice and tight. You don't want your knees coming in like this. Keep them tight, resist the knees, and you will feel those lateral glutes activated. Beautiful. And this belt is much more isolated than it would be on a barbell. So if you don't have a barbell at home, don't think you can't increase your weights and grow with your hip thrust with just the belt, because it's more isolated, it's a lot harder. You might even have to drop your weight when you're doing the belt on single legs as well. Okay, so here we go. Back into 15 more on each side on your single leg hip thrust. Number 1 glute exercise. So we got the upper booty today. So we're gonna show you guys a good glute routine you guys can be doing at home for hitting the upper glutes. And like I've said before, isolating the glutes come from contracting the glutes. So majority of those exercises that are contracting the glutes, the squeeze, are the upper glutes. Really good, but same thing here, squeezing at the top, full hip extension, getting a nice squeeze, hips, rib cage, all aligned at the top. So good. So we got glute bridges, we're going dumbbell. So again, it's just investing in heavier dumbbells for your glute bridges, and then you guys can add the band to add more resistance. And if you guys have lighter weight, go more reps. So in this case, this might be lighter for Camilla, so she's gonna do 20 reps. We're gonna do 3 sets of 20 reps with that band. Heels tucked under her, so she's under herself to engage and squeeze. Duck feet does help as well, but just getting high enough to squeeze the glutes and the abs together. And then we're gonna superset these with donkey kickbacks to keep that time under tension. Really good. But getting a nice second squeeze, especially with the lighter resistance, ladies. Allow those glutes to contract and get that mind to muscle connection. All right, now we got the donkey kickbacks. So superset those. And she's gonna go 20 each leg using her Peach Gains fabric booty band. And I do recommend starting it with mid-thigh so you guys get more range of motion. Okay, let's see. Let's go left leg, yeah. Good. And notice how she's getting this knee all the way up to hip extension every time. That's the only way you're gonna contract the glutes. You gotta get that knee all the way up to hip extension. Get a nice squeeze. Lovely. We got 20 of these. Love to do it with the fabric booty band. You get a lot more burn because of the time under tension that's held through the band as you're going up and down through the eccentric and concentric. Love it. But guys, you don't need to touch a gym until you learn how to grow at home. Until you've gone through a full 12 weeks of trying to build at home and getting as much progress as possible, you don't need to touch a gym, because you're not even at the point yet. You're not at the point where you have your forms down to where you can start progressive overloading and you know how to activate your glutes properly. So there's no reason for you to go to the gym for more weight. You can do this at home first. And then once you get to the point where you're like, okay, I can't invest into any more weights at home, I can't bring any more weights at home, then you go into the gym. But you still got 3 months of doing this at home before you get to that point. So good. And even somebody like Camilla, who's been training forever and can lift super heavy, will still get a crazy glute pump at home and a great glute workout at home. All right, here we go. So we're gonna get these next two glute isolated exercises are gonna be with your cables or your 2 bands and ankle straps. I'm gonna restart that. These next 2 glute isolated exercises are gonna be with your ankle straps and 2 bands. So we got the green band. She's gonna go 3 sets of 20, and then she's gonna superset these straight leg kickbacks. Standing, just find something you guys can hold on to keep yourself stabilized. just gonna superset these with some lying lateral leg raises. So we got 3 sets of both, and then 20 on each exercise. 20 straight legs, 20 lying lateral leg raises, and then we're gonna get into the burnout. Good. So a total of 7 exercises today at home. But yeah, you guys can hold on to anything. Just find something that stabilizes you. Doesn't really matter what it is. And I would start with the green, because the green is more stretchy. It's not as tight like the black ones. And you get more range of motion that way too, on the black or on the greens. So you guys want to keep your kicking leg closer to your heel that's just lying down. The leg that you're laying down on, keep that toe close to that heel, but at the same time, keep your hip closed. So notice how her hip's closed. She's using this other arm to help her keep that hip closed. Yeah. So we're creating that indent in the cheek every time. She's gonna do 20 of these. Good form. But just get nice and comfortable. Lay out all the way on your side and use your other arm to keep that hip closed. You can't be folding at your hip. Here, show them the wrong way, Camilla, where you're just folding at your hip. Yeah, that's too open, right? You might feel a little burn, but over time, you're gonna feel that too much in your hip. Keep your hip closed and contract the lateral glute. Next side, same thing. Notice, and what will always tell you that your hip is closed when you're laying down as well as standing is your knee and your toe is facing down to the ground as much as possible, like that. That's gonna naturally keep your hip closed. I get a lot of questions on why do we kick behind when we're standing. That's why, because it'll set your hip closed for you. Good. So always kick from behind. And this is the same situation when you're laying down. You're essentially kicking from behind here in this setup. And then you can also, like Camilla's doing, where she likes to put her hand where she's activating to get that mind to muscle connection. Beautiful. We got 20. We're gonna do 3 sets of these supersetting with those straight leg kickbacks. Peach gains, ankle straps, and 2 bands. All right, so we're getting into the burnout. Today, usually you've seen us pair like 2 exercises together for burnout, but like I've posted on my recent video with the frog pumps, if we're just doing the frog pumps, I like to do 3 sets of failure, and then she'll have like a minute break in between. So this is the first set. We're gonna go 3 rounds, and she's just gonna go as many as she can until she can. By this time, you will probably fail at like 30 to 40, depending on how advanced you are. But even Camilla being as advanced as she is, she's most likely gonna fail at 40 until she starts losing the form. So that's when you know you're done. Your set's over. It's like when you can't get up to the full hip extension and squeeze, and you start to sacrifice form, you're done. So here we go. Let's see. 3 sets of failure. This is where the pump is produced. This is where you isolate the booty to grow the most, the highest mind to muscle connection, or the best mind to muscle connection for the highest glute activation. Using your fabric booty band, I would start it with the band mid-thigh so you can keep your knees open, right? How many did you get? See? 28 was failure. So before 30. Yeah, exactly. So that like keeping your legs open on the banded frog pump, because you want it to be wider than on a glute bridge, right? As well as if you can't get all the way up to hip extension, you failed. So I would give yourself another 30 seconds. We're gonna take a full minute break. And then we're gonna go again for another set, and then we're gonna do 1 more. Yeah, the goal in these burnouts is to get the metabolic stress, which is the swelling of the muscle cells, which is why you have that pump at the end. And the more isolated we can get that glute pump, that's how you guys grow the glutes without the legs. Having to increase the size of the legs, you need more isolated reps. And that's why we use the BFR bands as well. So I'll be having a YouTube video on the BFR bands with Camilla as well, doing these at home, because that's a good way for you guys to add resistance at home if you're a little more advanced. You guys can add those BFRs, blood flow restriction, which is forcing your muscles to work harder, which then adds that resistance for you, and getting that metabolic stress, the swelling of the muscle cells, which leads to that pump. Good. So back flat, reset the pelvic tilt, get all the way up to full hip extension, and squeeze for a second. What'd you get?
30 actually.
30, there you go. So better on the second set. We'll see what the third set looks like. But definitely give your guys self a minute in between. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but we will have more at-home content coming out because like I've said before, you guys have a full 3 months of building your glutes, learning how to activate your glutes through just bands and some dumbbells before you ever need to step into a gym and try to increase your weights. You need to know the proper forms to properly activate your glutes before you ever need to increase weights and go to the gym for more weights. So learning that through your fabric booty band, your ankle straps with 2 bands, and doing your hip thrusts with your Peach Gains hip thrust belt, just using a set of dumbbells with 2-leg and single leg, and that's what we showed you guys today. So stay tuned for next week. I'm gonna show you guys how to add the BFR bands for you that are a little more advanced and adding more resistance for producing that pump. But again, if you guys are wanting to grow the booty without the legs, you gotta know how to produce a pump. And we're gonna show you guys how to do that at home. So we're gonna give you guys a full at-home routine for a 3-day glute workout split. Today was day 1. On a Monday, this is what we would do for that glute workout. Stay tuned for my webinar on the 18th. Every Tuesday, we're gonna have a webinar where I go over my online training with Peach Gains with all of our amazing female trainers. Stay tuned for the webinar, but we will see you guys back next week on an at-home routine using the BFR bands.